Brethren and guests, we are about to commence a great work. Masonry teaches us that before entering upon any important undertaking, we should first invoke the blessings of deity.
First invoke the blessings of deity.
Right Worshipful Grand Secretary, it has ever been the custom on occasions like the present to deposit within a cavity in the cornerstone to be laid.
To deposit within a cavity in the cornerstone to be laid.
Certain memorials of the period at which the edifice was erected.
Family name this edifice bears. The Masonic cornerstone lies in the northeast corner, between the north, the place of darkness, and the east, the place of light. It reminds us that we are ever to be progressing from darkness to light, from ignorance to knowledge, from hopelessness to certainty. Be with us now as we consecrate this creation. Erected as a place wherein the health and well-being of our children and children everywhere is the charge.
Is the mission. Is the dream. Amen.
So the cornerstone is the cornstone of the fertility of Saturn L, which is why the cornerstone is shaped as the L, or the ang of L, the angle. Which brings us to the black cube of Mecca, the Kaaba, which of course dates back to the time of Adam and Eve, the falling star, or the monolith, the black rock that fell from heaven. Which is why this monotheistic religion worships the idol of the black rock, which is of course idol worship. And this is why millions and millions idolize the Kaaba stone, which is actually the cornerstone. And once again, the cornerstone, or the corn fertility stone, is related to the goddess vagina hole, or the vagina stone. So now you know why when you graduate, you become an alumni or an illuminated one. And this symbol of completion, or graduation, is the symbol of consecration, the ritual of anointing, which is the reason that you wear the black Kaaba stone, or the black cube of Saturn L, on your head. Thus the cap of the magic mushroom wisdom of the magic cube of time. And this is why the tail is on the cap, because it represents the tail of the bull. And yes, this is exactly why the Oxford cap is named after the bull. And just as they slayed the head of the bull, when you graduate, you slay your head and throw the cap of the bull into the air. And this bull moonstone, or the Kaaba stone, is in a silver frame with silver nails, which represents the silver of the moon. So you see, the Kaaba stone was originally white, they say, and then it turned black because of the sins of the people. But sin is the moon, so what we're talking about is the black and the white phases of the moon. Black or white, day or night, winter, summer, or male and female, the virgin aspect and the whore aspect, because the moon reflects the horniness of sex of the goddess. I mean, why do you think they cover the Kaaba stone in a black veil? Because they cover their women in the black veil. Which is why we have the V and the L. The V of the vagina of the goddess, and L. So you see, the Kaaba stone is nothing more than the representation of the female goddess. So now you'll understand why Islam, or Mecca, has what's known as a haram, which comes from the word haram, meaning the sanctuary or the forbidden place of the goddess. The haram, which is the forbidden knowledge of the goddess aspect of the creator, which comes from the house of the whore. which is exactly why Harlem Nights is about the whorehouse.
Harlem Nights.
The Pity Patty Club or the Sex Club, where you can go by and get a girl or a quickie.
Was Club Sugar Ray's. The man to know was Quick.
Now, when you see what kind of work do you do?
Whatever's required.
What would a woman that fine want in a big, fat, nasty, greasy, 12 sandwich eating?
And this is why they let you know that Big Mama's in charge, or the goddess, the queen.
I ain't got nothing to say. You done insulted me, and I got to kick your ass right now. And afterwards, I don't want no hard feelings either. What the fuck is wrong with you? Ain't nothing wrong with me. What the fuck is wrong with you? You done accused me of stealing. The only thing I'm stealing out here today is your face. You out of your fucking mind? Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Come on, sucker. Let's get it on. Nigga, you hit like a bitch. Oh, you little loaded. You saw it, ain't you, huh? Yeah. I punch like a bitch, huh? Okay. I punch like a bitch. You'll take it like a bitch right now. You're gonna have to learn to respect me.
And of course, the whore is the meaning behind the whole of the Holy Bible. And the sacred sex of the goddess is the sacred mystery behind the sacred Kabbalah, or the Kabbalah, which is known as the Tree of Life. Because you see, we're dealing with the magic of creation, the creation story of sex. The L, even, the two partners, Adam and Eve, who create sex. And that's why the symbol is that of the male and the female, intercourse. And this is why the definition of Kabbalah means to receive. So the religions of the world use sex magic to gain the control of the mind control. Because the Illuminati game is not about money, it's about power. You see, we're back to a matriarchal society because the queen is the queen bee of power. And this is exactly why men are used to fight in wars. And if you're married, well then you know the truth of who really holds the power in the family, and that's the mother. She has the male go out and earn and work hard for the money that she gets to spend. And this is why if you divorce the diva, you have to give her half of everything. And why do you think men have to give half when they go to court? Because they are under Judaic law, the judicial law of Judea, which is why we have a judge who issues the Judaic law. And as I said before, Judah or Judea comes from Yahuda or Yahoda or Yahweh, the way of the moon god, Yah. And this is exactly why a judge dresses in a dress or the gown, which is a feminine garment, because they are trying to connect to the divinity or the divine nature of the deity, which is why the judge dresses in a gown or a dress and then puts on a wig to impersonate the female aspect of the goddess. So now you understand about the Judah judge of Judea, Judge Judy. So this is why we see the priests and the clergy of religions or cults, they wear the dress, which is the gown or the feminine aspect of the goddess. So the word pope means father, but actually he's dressed as a female. So really the father really means the opposite, which is the goddess or the mother. And this is why our world is ran by a queen, not a king. And that's why we don't have a king. And this is why when you play the game of chess, we all know who has the power. The power lies within the queen. And speaking of power, how do we get power? Through our electricity. And when we want to give life to our machinery, we have to push the power button, which of course is the symbol of sex. And of course, to turn it on, you have to push the button in. And that's exactly why the button is called the butt. And the asshole is known as the anal, or the An and the El, which of course again comes from the ancient An, or Anu, the bull god or goddess. And you will find this sex magic symbolism in company logos, like this logo from the Cubs, which is created through the sex magic of the logo, the baby cubs. And this is the same symbol that you will find at the Vatican. And of course, we see this sex magic symbol at the United Nations, which is the exact same symbolism that you find at Solomon's Temple or in Washington, D.C.